Richmond, Virginia. Nextel Cup qualifying has been concluded. Now 250 laps for the stars of the NASCAR Busch Series. When we come back, we'll set the stage here in Richmond on TNT.
TNT's NASCAR Busch Series pre-race from Richmond International Raceway is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Lights are on. Pretty soon the cars will fire up. 250 laps for the NASCAR Busch Series here at Richmond. Let's go down to Dave Burns.
With Carl Edwards now, his most recent winner on the NASCAR Busch Series circuit. Only one start here at Richmond, but it was a win and a very exciting one. Do you plan on leading at least one lap here tonight?
Boy, I sure hope so. I mean, Mark did a great job in the Red Apple Group Ford and got on the pole, but our charter Ford's really good. And I was just talking to Elliott Sadler, though, and he said,
I saw that.
He was warning me of a sticky throttle. He said, you know, if it comes down to last lap, throttle might be a little sticky. So, no, we're going to have a good time tonight. I think the car's good enough we could be up front and maybe contend for another win. I never imagined we'd win a race here at Richmond earlier in the year, and we need a good run both nights this week.
Carl third in the championship, looking for his fifth win of 2005. To Matt Yoakum.
Dave, tomorrow night, Matt Kenseth chasing a spot, won a final spot in the chase of the Nextel Cup side. But tonight, is it more about fun or is it more about being a learning tool for tomorrow night?
It's always about fun. I mean, I don't know how much from now we can learn about tomorrow night. It's an impound race to the Cup side. The cars are locked down, covered up. There's nothing we can really do to them anyway. So maybe a couple little things here or there you might pick up. But it's about having fun and going out here and trying to win the race.
So it's a tension breaker tonight here at Richmond. Twice he's finished second, Bill, hoping for his first Richmond Busch win.
Thanks, Matt. Good crowd on hand here at Richmond, getting ready for the NASCAR Busch Series on TNT. NASCAR Busch Series racing coming up on TNT. Let's go down to Marty Snyder.
Jamie McMurray is another one of those guys on the bubble in the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup Championship. So would you rather be racing or relaxing tonight, Jamie?
No, I look forward to trying to learn something tonight. It looked to me like in the truck race that the racetrack widened out a little bit, and see if I can find something there. You know, this racetrack is notorious in years past for getting two grooves, and since they repaved it, we haven't really seen that. So maybe see if we can't find something, figure something out tonight.
He will begin compiling his notes from the 25th starting position. Alan?
Elliott Sadler getting ready to go from third starting spot. What was that you were saying to Carl Edwards?
We were just laughing about what happened here in the spring. We had a good time racing each other until that point, but he just said if I was behind him, he might let me go. But I'm looking forward to racing him and looking forward to racing Mark Martin and just racing here in Virginia. I think the City Financial Ford's pretty good, and I just can't wait to get going. I'm excited. I'm having a fun weekend here at home. I'm not letting the pressure get to me. We're just going to come out here tonight, see if we can win the race, and then move on from there.
Elliott starts third. Matt?
So what about tonight? More about survival, Martin Truex?
For me here, yeah. I haven't had the greatest of luck here in the past. So my car's really good. It was good in practice. We were just a little too tight qualifying. But I was real happy with the practice. Long runs, it was real good on old tires. So look forward to tonight. Stay out of trouble. Hopefully our pit strategy will work out for us, and we can be around at the end.
Can't wait to Dover. 2 wins in a second. More from Richmond coming up. NASCAR Busch Series action here on this 3/4 mile bull ring.
TNT's NASCAR Busch Series pre-race from Richmond International Raceway is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO.
The fans have come to the 3/4 mile track here in Richmond, Virginia. 43 cars getting ready for 250 laps here at the track. And on the front row, Mark Martin and Carl Edwards. It should be 2 big nights of racing here at Richmond. It starts tonight with 250 laps for the NASCAR Busch Series. Let's take you trackside and join the pre-race ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please stand for the presentation of colors this evening by the United States Marine Corps Color Guard out of Quantico, Virginia. And please remain standing for our invocation and national anthem. The invocation by the Reverend John Bryant from Mechanicsville Baptist Church, and the national anthem by Amy Parrish of Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Gracious Lord, I just ask that you bless this race tonight and bless all these folks here. Be with the drivers and teams and keep them safe. And Lord, protect our military personnel all around the world. And may your spirit cover the Gulf states and be with the victims and the rescuers. Father, as the cars roll around the track, let us remember your power and mercy and love. In Jesus' name, amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Pre-race ceremonies here at Richmond. The team's getting ready. Drivers getting ready. The fans are ready. 250 laps for the NASCAR Busch Series, and the command is coming up next, live on TNT. TNT Sports presents NASCAR. Tonight, it's the NASCAR Busch Series, live from Richmond International Raceway in Richmond, Virginia. Hi, everybody. Bill Weber along with Wally Dallenbach and Benny Parsons. Thanks for having us in for the race. Well, we've got 43 cars down there ready for the first of two of the most exciting nights of the season. It's always been fun to come to Richmond, but now with the chase for the championship tomorrow night, it makes it doubly fun. So these guys tomorrow night have a lot of work to do tonight if they're in the Busch race.
Exactly right. You know, I'm a little confused because Matt Kenseth said you can't learn anything in tonight's race because the cars are impounded. That's true. You can't change your race car. But Jamie McMurray said, I can learn something about driving around the racetrack, different lines. So let's see what kind of lines these guys use tonight. Try to learn something about the racetrack to help them tomorrow night get in through traffic.
So they're racing and they're learning at the same time.
I think you're always learning something when you're racing, but you know, you're also trying to have a good time. But the way this racetrack changes, I think they'll learn something. It's an impound race tomorrow night, so obviously they can't go and change their cars a whole bunch before the first pit stop, but they'll have an idea what's going to happen, and maybe they can plan for that.
And they watched the truck race last night and learned from that as well. In the meantime, in the middle of all this, Martin Truex Jr. is trying to race for a Busch Series championship.
And Clint Boyer, that 2 car, he's coming, getting closer and closer to that 8 car. So tonight could be a huge swinging points.
This is going to be a lot of fun, don't you think?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see what happens. Take a look at the Busch Series championship standings heading in to tonight's race. Martin Truex Jr., 142 points ahead of Clint Boyer. Boyer made the big jump last week in California. Would like to repeat that here at Richmond tonight. Carl Edwards in third. Then Reed Sorensen and Denny Hamlin, Kenny Wallace, David Stremme, Paul Menard, David Green, and Jason Keller round out the top 10. Take a look at some of the drivers as they get ready for tonight's race here at Richmond. Kevin Harvick, who's also on the pole for the Nextel Cup race tomorrow night. A lot of fun just ahead. 250 laps for the NASCAR Busch Series here at Richmond. Let's take you trackside and rejoin the pre-race ceremonies.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here to give the command to get the field underway, once again, our Grand Marshal, the marketing manager of Emerson Radio Corporation, Mr. John Mayer.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines!
43 cars roar to life on pit road here at Richmond. 16 drivers from tonight's race are also in tomorrow night's race. Take a look at the starting grid for tonight's Emerson 250 at Richmond. Mark Martin on the pole alongside of Carl Edwards, Elliott Sadler, and Matt Kenseth. Guys trying to get a spot in the chase for the Nextel Cup Championship tomorrow night. Jason Leffler with a solid qualifying run alongside of Kenny Wallace.
Row 4, Dave Blaney. Our pole sitter in the Cup race, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, and Truex Jr. in row 5, and Denny Hamlin, and David Stremme. Round out row 6.
Row 7, Paul Menard on the inside, Labonte on the outside, then Reed Sorensen, Presley, Ryan Moore, a car out of DEI on the inside of row 9, alongside Jason Keller.
In row 10, Kyle Busch got his first Nextel Cup win last Sunday in California. J.J. Yaley right next door. Regan Smith and Ashton Lewis Jr. in row 11. Then Greg Biffle and Tony Raines make up row 12.
Row 13, Jamie McMurray. Johnny Sauter gets around this place very good. Row 14, Waltrip, Aaron Fike, and David Green and Stanton Barrett. Row 15.
Row 16, out of Reno, Nevada, T.J. Bell, Mike Wallace on the outside, Paul Wolf. In row 17, Tony Stewart. Randy LaJoy in 18 alongside Jeff Fuller. Back in 19, it's Shane Hall, John Wood, Stacy Compton, Kevin Hamlin, Justin Labonte, and Aaron Crocker, first NASCAR Busch Series start.
And Steve Grissom rounds out the field. They have 54 cars here. Those guys going home. Aaron Crocker goes to the back. Had trouble on her qualifying lap. Tapped the wall. And Paul Wolf also lost his car in qualifying. Wolf is in a backup car. They repaired Crocker's car. Cars rolling out onto the track. Some final stories from pit road, beginning with Dave Burns.
Bill, country singer Chris Cagle rides along on the car of Clint Boyer tonight. His two biggest hits, What a Beautiful Day and Chicks Dig It. Clint is hoping for a more beautiful day than the way it started today. He wrecked his car in practice. They go on to a backup car, but they did qualify that car, so they'll keep their 9th place starting position. And every young lady loves a guy in a fast car, right? Clint trying to win his 2nd race of the season and continue to make up ground on the 8 of Martin Truex, who currently leads the points. Marty.
Dave, I just hope they know the chicks dig you too, and it's been a pretty groovy day for Aaron Crocker as well. This morning, they announced that in 2006, for every race, we're going to have to say, lady and gentlemen, start your engines here in the Busch Series. She will be full-time in this series next year, and as Benny just told us, this is her first ever Busch Series start tonight. And as Bill told us, a little trouble in qualifying. She scraped the wall just a little bit, but they did repair the car, and Ray Evernham told me there are 3 keys for Aaron tonight. Patience, patience, and just finish the race. Everything else will take care of itself. Matt?
Marty's different agendas tonight for the RCR camp. Now, Dave documented well the 2 teams' strategy for tonight. For Kevin Harvick, he's not chasing points. He's just chasing a victory. Half of his 15 career Busch wins have come on the short tracks. He's won here before. He's got success here. So tonight, it's all about going out and having fun. A little slip and qualify, he starts 8th. Alan?
Well, Mark Martin is the all-time leading race winner in the NASCAR Busch Series. He starts on pole tonight. What does the all-time leading winner do to his pit crew? He puts a lot of pressure on. His crew chief, Pat Tryson, said, when you got a guy like Mark Martin behind the wheel, you'd better get the strategy right to keep him up front and give him a shot to add to his win total, because we know the driver's capable. Bill?
Alan, Matt, Marty, Dave, thanks a lot. Have a great night down there. At this time, we want to let you know that Shelter from the Storm, a concert to benefit the Gulf Coast, can be seen on our sister station, TBS. All fundraising efforts will go to either the American Red Cross or the Salvation Army. If you'd like to make a donation, please call 1-866-4AID-NOW. 1-866-4AID-NOW. And again, Shelter from the Storm, airing over on TBS. We wish all those folks the very best. Well, this will be something tonight. 16 guys in this race, also racing tomorrow night. The crew's getting all jazzed up.
Brad Perrier's got those guys. Man, come on, guys. It's going to be a race after a while.
There's Brad.
He believes in getting his crew pumped up.
This 3/4 mile track, always packed with excitement. Good turnout tonight, too. The fans have come out to watch the NASCAR Busch Series. Oh, back-to-back nights of big-time racing. The NASCAR Busch Series tonight, Nextel Cup Series tomorrow night. Welcome to Richmond, everybody. Mark Martin takes him to the green flag on TNT. See you, Mark.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Boy, Leffler down on the bottom right now, that 32 car, trying to take second spot away from Elliott Sadler, and does it.
Leffler started 5th, was running 2nd on the first, actually running 3rd, but now he's 2nd spot.
Carl Edwards didn't exactly have an outstanding start, did he? Dropped the back. Dave, how about it?
He radioed to his crew right before the start. It's really dirty on the top line. That's where Carl had to start in second position. He says it's going to be ugly these first few laps. He got down to the bottom as quickly as he could, but it was behind those other cars.
So that's something we can file away for tomorrow night as well.
Tell you what, Elliott Sadler, the 90 car, is making some speed up on the high side as Kensington 17 tries to get by him. Looks like 17 had him, but he's still coming back on the inside. Marty.
Well, BP, I talked to Matt just before he climbed in the car. I said, how's the car tonight? He said, look where we qualified. You know what happened when Matt qualified this well. He qualified 4th, car excellent. He said, we do have a shot to win, Matt.
And Elliott Sadler in the 90 working on the outside just took the position. Almost won here back in May. Another driver trying to learn something tonight to use tomorrow night to try to lock himself in for a chance for $5 million+ We're going to battle for the lead going into 1.
You're right,
He's
Matt.
working him, and he's going to take the spot. Mark looked up in the mirror and went, man, where did he come from? Oh, yeah.
He let him know he was there, too, on the previous lap, going into 1 and going into 4. Martin Truex Jr. inside of Stremme.
That's 8th spot right there.
Allen.
Well, I talked to Martin Truex Jr.'s crew chief, Kevin Mannion, just before the start of the race. Really felt like they had a good race car for tonight. Feel like they need a little redemption after a subpar performance last weekend at California Speedway when they gave up points to their title rival, Clint Boyer. Looking to get him back tonight.
Truex behind Kenny Wallace. And David Stremme in the 14.
Kenny Wallace running in the 7th spot right now.
In a pre-race conversation with Truex, he didn't sound too optimistic, did he?
Well, I'll tell you, you lose 50 points off your lead. It really tightens up. Really does.
You think you've got, you know, a 100-point, 150-point lead on somebody. You think you can relax. You can't. That's nothing. That's just one race.
And, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, you know, if you have one bad race and your competitor that you're racing the championship with has a good race, it just erases that real quick.
And on these short tracks, it's not always your mistake that costs you. It's sometimes the other guy's mistake that takes you out and costs you more points.
Because you can see these fellas just how close they race, and it doesn't take much for these two cars to make contact. And when that happens, usually one and sometimes both of them spin.
Reed Sorensen and Paul Menard. Sorensen in the 41, Marty.
It's been a rough couple weeks for Reed Sorensen. They had back-to-back engine failures earlier this year, lost his crew chief through suspension for an incident at Bristol a couple weeks ago, and now they've fallen back to 4th in the championship. I asked Reed earlier today, did I'll get to you? He said, no, you know what? I'm a young guy. No one expected us to be here anyway this high in the championship standings. We're going to run, focus on these final races, and try to get more wins this season. Matt?
Marty, one of the best drivers in the late summer months. The 11, Paul Menard, had a rough go at Bristol, broke a suspension piece, had a rough finish, 36, but they're back on track, top 10 last week. He led 38 laps here in May. Felt like he could have had a better finish. He was caught up in a crash. Came back here very excited, just trying to stay up on the line.
Matt Kendall, the 17 car, has caught Mark Martin, so Mark says, okay, since you caught me, you're faster, go ahead.
Mark just likes saving his stuff, doesn't he?
Mark just will pull over, and well, there's no, at this point in the race, it doesn't really matter. You can sit there and race a guy. If he's faster, he's going to get by you. It's so early, just let him by. Just keep him in sight, keep him in sight. Then when you make a pit stop, adjust your car.
Truex still trying to get by Kenny Wallace, the battle for the 7th position.
Just popped out of gear.
Jamie McMurray, I heard him say popped out of gear. We have
popped out of gear.
Dave?
I think he's got a flat, guys. We're going down to check him out when he comes in.
I think he said he popped out of gear.
Yeah, I think he did say that.
Yeah, guys, my mic's still open, so let me add. I just got told by their pit the car did pop out of gear. Jamie slammed it back in for now, hopefully not damaging the transmission.
Or the valves.
Or engine, yeah.
New leader, Matt Kenseth. Around Jason Leffler. Leffler leading for the first time this season. Then Kenseth takes the point.
And you saw how easy it was to get by Jason Leffler. With 15, 20, 25 laps to go, it will not be nearly that fast. The 21 car looks to be gaining on these guys, Matt.
BP, keep an eye on Harvick. He's moving up, the fastest car on the racetrack the past 5 or 6 laps. Remember, his car extremely loose in qualifying. Temperatures coming down, this track will tighten up, and he is really on the move, trying to be patient, working on Mark Martin, working his way back to the front.
Mark gives up the position to Harvick. Matt Kenseth had a great run at Bristol in the Nextel Cup race. Out front and strong early here at Richmond.
NASCAR Busch Series racing from Richmond International Raceway is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drinking Busch Light. Busch, the proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series. By Just for Men, targets only the gray for a natural look. And by the new Reese's Big Cup.
Matt Kenseth, one of 3 leaders so far tonight, out front after 24 laps here at Richmond. Jason Leffler, Kevin Harvick, Mark Martin, and Carl Edwards, the top 5.
Looks like Harvick is trying real hard to get underneath Leffler right now.
Harvick in the 21, Leffler in the 32, and Kenseth did lap the 6 car of Aaron Crocker, making her Busch Series debut.
Also going by Justin Labonte in the 44 car. Put him a lap down.
And as good as Matt's car looks, if it stays green, a lot of cars are going to fall off the lead lap.
And as fast as his car is, it looks like that Harvick in this 21 car, this Reese's car, could be even faster if he can just get by the 32 car.
And another car that's on the move back in the field, Tony Stewart from 35th to 21. Marty?
Bill Jason Leffler told me before he climbed into the car, quote, "We're going to impress some people tonight. This is a team with a new sponsor on the car, trying to make some headway and some gains for the 2006 season. The plan is, as he gets passed by Kevin Harvick, keep Jason in this car for the rest of the year, and maybe even next year if they can secure the sponsorship."
Jason Leffler feels he's close with this car and this crew surrounded with this package. Thinks he's got a shot at a checkered flag. Drop back deeper in the field. Greg Biffle's another car on the move from 23rd to 15th.
Followed closely by Denny Hamlin, who grew up 10 or 15 miles from this racetrack.
Hamlin in the 20. Jason Paul Menard. Here's Biffle in the 66.
didn't think that was going to take long.
No.
The way Harvick
you
was
were
coming.
right. It pains me to say it, but Wally, you were right. Kevin Harvick, our fourth leader of the night.
And the way he's running, it's going to be a while, it looks like, for someone to unseat this 21 car. What's he saying now, Matt? Anything? Tell me Kevin Harvick.
Well, Harvick really isn't saying much on the radio, but his crew chief, Ricky Vyers, just told him to make sure you've got your brake blowers on. Now, BP, I'm down here in turn 1. You can see as the cars enter the corner who is really using brake and who isn't. Harvick's rotors really red. A guy whose rotors look great was the 11 of Paul Menard, not even orange at all.
And we'll keep an eye on the brake situation throughout the race. Kevin Harvick is on the pole tomorrow night. He's out front tonight. You're watching NASCAR on TNT. Still under green here at Richmond. Take a look at your home 1, 2, 3 bubble drivers from the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. These guys will be trying to race their way into the chase for the championship tomorrow night. Newman and Gordon and Sadler have some work to do. Jarrett and Harvick, a lot of work to do. But
Jarrett and Harvick need miracles. Newman, Gordon, Sadler, they can race their way in.
And there's Kevin Harvick out front here tonight. 15 Busch races so far this season for Kevin. 7 finishes of first or second. 2 wins and 5 second-place finishes in those 15 races this season, and looking strong through 40 laps tonight.
Well, there's going to be a lot of cars a lap down. The way this thing's going right now.
These guys have got themselves a little war going on back there.
12th spot, Kenny Wallace holds in the 22 car. What's Kenny saying, Alan?
Oh, car in the wall, turn 1, guys.
Stanton Barrett in the 40 car has made some contact with the wall.
Our first caution of the night.
Right front tire is flat, and my guess is that's what caused the problem in turn 1.
Stanton will try and limp that back to pit road. 5 sets of tires for the Busch Series tonight. The set they started on, and 4 on the ground on pit road.
These beads get hot here at BP because of the brakes and the rotors. The tire beads get hot. Sometimes that causes a problem.
Let's take a look, see what happened. Top of your screen, he's already in the wall.
See a bunch of sparks.
Regan Smith is our ballpark lucky dog. He gets the Lucky Dog Award. First car scored not on the lead lap.
Just to make up 3/4 of a mile.
And the leaders are on pit road. Marty.
Jason Leffler running second, and he said, you know, the car's just a little bit tight on entry, but I don't want to change it too much. They're saying that they let a tire get away. The official waved to the crew, told them that. They got the tire. Pound on the right front tire for Leffler. Dave?
Carl Edwards started the run really loose. He ended the run just a little bit tight in the center. Air pressure adjustment all the way around and a wedge adjustment. Matt.
Leader Kevin Harvick, service already complete. A slight air pressure adjustment. He was too tight in the center.
Martin Truex, the championship leader, moving up during that last stretch of green flag racing. Like this car, no adjustments, just 4 new tires.
Well, some congestion and some fun on pit road there. We'll sort out the running order when we come back to Richmond. You're watching the NASCAR Busch Series on TNT. Back under green here at Richmond. Reed Sorensen was the race leader. Kevin Harvick has recaptured the lead. Sorensen did not pit under the caution. And there is a lot of stuff going on.
Boy, caution. Now when you look around, you see why caution flags breed cautions. When you get these cars bunched up with fresh tires, it's not good.
Harvick leads. Mark Martin in second. Sorensen to third. And we're going to see right now whether you can stay out on tires here or not. And I would say right now, not. Marty, how about the 41 strategy?
Well, we'll see how these old tires work here, Weber. I just talked to Jimmy Elledge, crew chief for Reed Sorensen. He said, you know, why would we pit? The car was very good. We needed a little track position. I know we're not going to stay in the lead, but the car's handling so well, let's save some tires for later in the race.
Thanks, Marty. He was 9th. Then restarted first.
He's going to lose a spot there eventually.
Carl Edwards in the 60. It's Elliott Sadler in the 90. Take a look at our Aaron's pit summary.
You see Jason Leffler, obviously the big loser, comes in running second, goes out 8th. He has worked his way back up to 6th, but
there was a lot of traffic on pit road.
Yeah, they were waiting on, looked like they had a problem in the rear on Jason Leffler's pit stop. Doesn't take much. A second or two, and
the one car, Johnny Sauter, had to start at the tail end of the longest line because of an incident on pit road.
Take a look at it.
We see the rear tire gets away from the one car. They go chasing after it, but as he starts back, Strimmy decides to leave, and he's not going to wait for that guy to get out of the way. He needs to go. He hits the tire, and across pit road he goes, so now we know why he was penalized.
That guy looked like a bullfighter, didn't he?
Ole. So Sauter had to go to the end of the longest line, tail end of the field, for not getting that tire back to pit wall.
Leffler working on Reed Torrenson right there. He's going to try the high side. No. The high side ran out of room quick. Try the low side.
Matt Kenseth runs in the 7th position. There's Matt in the 17 inside of Sorensen. And Clint Bowyer, second in the championship chase, is back in that mess somewhere. Matt, what's up with him?
Well, he's chasing down Martin Truex Jr., but his biggest problem, Bill, he told his team under the caution the water had climbed well over 245 degrees, and he felt like he had lost a cylinder. They took a half-inch of tape all the way across that grill to try to cool it down. The car was tight, made a slight air pressure adjustment, but they are concerned about that engine.
Matt, sometimes when those cars get that warm, you feel like they slow down so much, you feel like you've lost a cylinder. Maybe if they can get the water temperature back down, it will be okay. I noticed that Carl Edwards on his pit stop was also overheating. Saw some steam coming out the overflow.
You get a lot of rubber in your grill here, BP? You get a lot of rubber in your grill here?
Yes, you do.
And that can create the overheating problem. On board, Tony Stewart.
That's Jason Leffler in Jason Keller in 35 that he's going by.
In the 83. He's been working his way through the field, and here's how he's been getting some of it done.
Leader 95.
TJ Bell in 36.
He's just drafting.
Bump drafted.
TJ Bell getting an education from the former series champion. So Stewart moving up through the field from his 35th starting spot. Kevin Harvick out front at Richmond. Kevin Harvick continues to lead here at Richmond. Take a look at our Wendy's race menu. Tomorrow night, race 26, the final race to lock in a spot in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern time right here on TNT with the Bank of America Countdown to Green. Don't be late. All right, let's take you through the field, beginning with Matt Yoder.
Up at the front, Kevin Harvick, 7 of his 15 races this year. He has finished, Bill, either first or second, having a stellar run now. Just a small air pressure adjustment to make that car even better, AB.
During that first run of the race, Mark Martin called into his crew chief, Pat Tryson, asked for 2 rounds of wedge out on his pit stop. Then he called back and said, better make it 3. They compromised. 2.5, Mark back up to second place. Dave?
Carl Edwards' car was just a little tight in the center of the corner. He just radioed his crew. Now it's a hair tight in the center of the corner. No complaining about any overheating problems at this point. Matt?
The 90 car, Elliott Sadler, Dave, desperately wants to win a race here, what he considers his home track. Now, they made a number of adjustments on their stop. He told his team 2 laps ago, Marty, good work. We are better everywhere now, except on exit.
Check out all the changes for Matt Kenseth back on lap 43 when they pitted. His car was too tight. Half pound on the right front, a pound on the both lefts, and 1 round of wedge out. The car still tight for Matt as the 8 car goes by, Alan.
Well, Martin Truex Jr. has discovered that the first few laps on a set of new tires, it takes his car a little while to kind of settle in. Now, after we get some laps under green, he begins to run the same speed as the leaders and pick up spots. He's up to 5th. Marty?
Alan, last week at California, Jason Leffler finished a 2005 best 7th. Right now, he's running 7th. Car just a little bit too tight and let a tire get away. That's why the pit stop was so slow the last time, Dave.
Benny mentioned that Denny Hamlin is from these parts. 125 tickets went to friends and family. They watched our driver restart 10th. He's picked up 2 positions.
Matt, 2 laps ago, Clint Boyer in the 2 car just moved up a spot to the 9th position. Now, he hasn't said anything more about the engine, but they have told him to move a little higher line to see if that will help. Meanwhile, Paul Menard, the 11 car, says the car's still good. No adjustments. This is not bad at all, guys.
Thanks, Matt. Kevin Harvick continues to lead by 0.8 of a second over Mark Martin here at Richmond. Let's continue to go through the field, Marty.
Well, we were going to gauge how those old tires would work. Well, Reed Sorensen started first and now has fallen back to the 11th position on this run. Car is getting tighter the longer he runs. That's his handling problem. Alan?
Kenny Wallace started 6th. His crew took the time on that last pit stop to pull a spring rubber out of the left rear corner of their car. That dropped them back to 13th. You see he's picked up 1 spot since then. Greg Biffle reported his car was chattering the front tires just before the last pit stop, so a whole host of adjustments for Biffle. He started way back in 23rd spot, and Biffle has now moved up to 13th. Dave?
Jason Keller won this race, won here in the spring of 2002. He's got a car that's running pretty well tonight. No changes on that first pit stop. The driver of the 35 car. Bobby Labonte, on the other hand, in the 19, was good going into the corners, but leaving the corner, his car wouldn't handle. They made a wedge adjustment and also changed 4 tires. Marty.
Well, Dave, as Wally said, Tony Stewart has been drafting his way through the field. From 34th, he started tonight. Car's been very good, it's a little too tight in the center, and he said depending on how hard he drives it in the center, the car is either loose or tight coming off the corners, Alan.
David Green, the 94 champ, has picked up a dozen spots since the start of the race. He took the green in 29th spot. He's moved up to 17th. Wants a little help with the front end grip on his car on the next pit stop. Dave?
J.J. Yaley's car wouldn't turn leaving the corners. They softened up the left rear of that car by taking out a spring rubber and making a track bar adjustment. Matt?
Johnny Sauter running in the 19th position. The Milwaukee winner brought that race car here. Their money car, won here 2 years ago, but he's fighting a tight condition. He says he feels like he's got some damage, Dave, due to some contact with the 83 of Stewart.
Mikey in the 99, no damage for his car. His car would not turn, however, in the middle of the corner. His team made a chassis adjustment and changed some air pressures on that car to help.
Kevin Harvick is in some traffic. Yeah. That 21 car, as he tries to get by this traffic. Meanwhile, Mark Martin, the 9, is closed up right on his back bumper.
He's just got to be patient working through these cars because they were 4 abreast there at one time a couple laps ago going into turn 1. Harvick just backed out.
And you were watching Johnny Sauter.
I'm telling you what, Johnny Sauter is running really good right now. I think he started 31st or 32nd on that last restart.
After the penalty.
After the penalty, he's up to 19th, but his lap times have been really, really good, man. I tell you what, that one car looks like he may be to the front.
And just talk about the patience, his rapid pace, bouncing back from that tire violation. Look how far he's climbed. Now, he had so much confidence coming into here, one of his favorite racetracks, especially after he won here, where they feel like they've got a good car. He's just got to take his time while they're getting up there. That's tough to do here.
Yeah, and Johnny Sauter, I'll get it out one of these days. He's like me. He's not very patient. But he's watching. I've been watching the last couple laps, and he's running really good. His lap times, though, have been just as fast as the leader, so he's working his way up.
So if it's a lot like you, should be waiting for the pit road speeding penalties?
Yeah. No, I don't think he'll do that.
Okay.
There he is.
There's another spot trying to get by David Green for 17th.
Wow.
Yeah, Sauter is on a mission. Now, look at his, a lot of the glowing you can see on these left fronts. Guys are really using the brakes right now. Going down into the corners actually helps the cars bite the front end. When you get down the corner, you get on the brake, you just kind of hold the brake a little bit. It actually helps turn the car. So that's a lot of the reason why you see these rotors so red. Takes a spot.
So Johnny Sauter from 31st to 17th. Everybody chasing the 21 car of Kevin Harvick at Richmond. TNT Sports and Sony bring you tonight's race in high-definition surround sound. For the best way to experience the full impact of HD, get Sony HD. Hear the big picture. Kevin Harvick seeing the big picture.
He's lapping his own car.
So he's costing himself money right there.
Yes, he is.
The 33 car driven by Tony Raines is owned by the fellow driving the 21 orange car.
And Raines is 26, so that would mean 25 drivers on the lead lap. Among the guys dropping back a little bit. 41 of Sorensen is back to 11. Tony Stewart has fallen to 17. Your boy Johnny Sauter still on the move.
The 16,
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good driver that can recapture his patience and march through the field that way. Matt Kenseth trying to get back to the front, Marty.
Trying to work his way back up there, Weber, after the slew of changes they made on the first stop. Matt said the car's a little bit better, but it's still tight. But he said the problem is that 21 car and that 9 car, they're so fast, nobody's going to catch them.
It kind of looks that way. Jason left the 32 car who ran so strong earlier in the race. He's running 7th position now. Regan Smith, the lucky dog, the last caution flag. Is he going to be able to get it? No.
Nope.
He is now a lap down.
He's got a lot of company on that.
Yes, he does.
Lap down deal. Lefroy trying to get back to the front. Tony Stewart, the 83 car. This is a couple of moments ago.
Oh, Jamie McMurray, 64. Kevin Hamlin in number 4.
Tony was just saying he wanted to play through the top flight car. Is that what he was saying there? Marty?
Yeah, just like your drive, Weber. Coming through. Tony is trying to pack 2 races into one tonight. He did not make the Craftsman Truck Series race last night. And there's trouble on the racetrack.
Stremme.
Yep.
Like David Stremme has had a
Back to the garage.
right front problem.
Failure.
The right front go down.
Failure to grip.
Yeah, the right front went down.
There's a couple of those, but Wally, you brought up a point earlier on. Those brakes, I saw the 1 car, Johnny Sauter, trying to work his way through that traffic.
Oh, and there it goes.
There goes the rest of the tire. Used a lot of brakes, and you know that wheel that holds the tire is only about an inch from the rotor that's 1,500 degrees.
It just melts the bead.
Yeah, this is on board with Kyle Busch. Wow.
Oh man, we saw.
Come on. Clear on hand, caution out. Hand up here.
So in the middle of the corner, when that right front tire goes flat, straight ahead it goes.
Stremme 9th in the Busch Series Championship. Goes right to the garage.
And tomorrow night he gets 400 more laps of practice here at the Richmond International Raceway.
He's hoping he gets 400 more laps.
And they can't put any more hoses on now. Usually there's a lot of air hoses to the front of these cars right now on these types of racetrack to try to keep those brakes cool.
50 laps of green flag racing, and then back to pit road they go. Marty?
Matt Kenseth said his car is unbelievably tight to the center of the corner, but it's loose coming off the corner. So they're going to take a little extra time here. They're going to pull a spring rubber from the left rear, trying to loosen up Matt's car. They're also going to make an air pressure adjustment. Matt or Dave?
Carl Edwards' car won't turn. They're going to put some air into the right rear tire, extra air that is. They're also going to take some tape off the front. Those two will hopefully balance out, make Carl's car a little bit better. Matt?
The catch cam man finally got the wrench in the back window, making a track bar adjustment, trying to help Harvick roll to the center better. It's still tight, Alan.
And a 4-tire change with no adjustments for Mark Martin. They'll take a tear off the windshield and try and win the race off pit road. Very nice.
Yes, they did, Alan.
That was a great stop by those guys.
So the guys getting it done on pit road. We'll sort out the running order when we come back to Richmond on TNT. Lap and a half of green flag racing. After the restart, Mark Martin led the race off of pit road and is the race leader now with Kevin Harvick on his bumper.
Pressure. Harvick. Oh. Harvick. Oh, I saw that plastic. I thought it was going to be problem. He's going to get underneath them. If his car can't stay out there too long, he's going to have a lot of cars underneath him. So he needs to do that.
Kevin Harvick back to the lead. He has led 67 over the 105 laps. And he's about to lead another one. We watch the leaders. Check with Dave.
With David Stremme now. David, talk to us about what happened to your 14 car.
Well, I think we had a tire going down for a while. We were trying to wait out a caution. And, right front ended up going down. So we had a really good car tonight. We lost a little track position there in the pits, but we weren't too worried about it. And now we got torn up race car, so we'll just go out and collect some points.
His guys are working on this car. You can hear the banging going on here. He'll try to get back out, as he said, collect some points.
He talked like that he punctured the right front tire, that he had a slow leak, and it slowly got to the point that it became so hot that it exploded.
Boy, that's gutsy staying out there.
Well, the problem is you don't want to come in and then be wrong.
Right.
That's it from a driver perspective. You don't want to come in and then change tires, lose a lap or two, and then your guys go, nope, there's nothing wrong with the tire.
Dave Burns.
Yeah, guys, Goodyear officials just confirmed with me that it was a melted bead on the right front of the 14 car, David Stremme, that we just spoke with.
That makes me right again.
Again?
That's twice.
Gosh.
That's
this could be a
enough.
painful night. Kenseth trying to get back to the front in that 17 car. Regan Smith.
And Tony was near that, so there could have been some more bump drafting involved.
We stay green. Smith is not on the lead lap. He's a lap down. Let's see if you're right for the third time.
No. Yeah, it was Tony, wasn't it?
That's the hat trick.
Wow.
And I see Tony aggravated here, and then going to finish it off right about here.
I like that, though. You do? This is a great place to watch a race because you try and maintain your composure, but you have to keep going. All right, here we go. Let's just ride around with Tony Stewart. That's where most of the action's been tonight.
It's a battle with J.J. Yaley, and that's what?
21st. Yaley in 20th. Stewart takes the position. Snada.
Well, Weber, what I was going to say earlier is remember there's a little frustration behind the wheel of that 83 car. He's trying to pack 2 races into 1 tonight. He did not make the Truck Series race last night. He told me that just shows how competitive that series is, and he barely made the race tonight. How competitive this series is as Tony continues to bully his way through the field from 34th. But he's got a great race car, and a lot of these guys in front of him are holding him up.
He let David Green know he was there.
Whoa!
Hang on!
Wow!
Hey, good save.
Yeah, the spotter says, good save, Tony, and I agree with you, spotter.
So he gave a few of those positions back. That's Stacy Compton and looking out the back. And his car looks a little loose. Some of these drivers tonight are going to be happy they used their Old Spice. Stewart looking low. Ashton Lewis, who was the lucky dog last time.
Yep. Lewis looking on the inside. He's going to get that spot. Man, he's not going to get much room if he's going to get that spot. There he goes.
And guess what? He didn't hit anything.
No. But he might later. Caution is out.
I don't think you can blame that on it. Anybody but himself on that one.
He comes straight to pit road. Ashton Lewis in the 25. Pretty much hugging the yellow line. A cloud of smoke and caution at Richmond.
Back at Richmond International Raceway, Tony Stewart leads the Nextel Cup points for the Busch Series tonight. Not such a good ride, Tony. What happened?
Just running around a bunch of hacks out there. It's not worth destroying Delana and Kevin's car. I mean, the guys out there, I mean, you got guys like David Green, who's won Busch championships, and I like him. I like Ashton Lewis. He ran over us once, so I give him the same business, and that's why we spun. I mean, I did it to myself. I was the cause of that problem, but just getting tired of getting run into by a bunch of guys that really don't know what they're doing. So it's just Richmond. I mean, they're all out there fighting for spots just like we are. They got every right to race hard. So just not a fun night. I mean, when your car's not driving good anyway, and then you're racing with guys in the mid-pack or back of the pack like that, it makes for an ill night. And I just said, before we destroy this thing, I'm just going to park it. I've had all the fun I can stand for one night.
All the fun he can stand, guys.
Hey, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, when you're out there and you're not running good, you're not having a good day, it is so frustrating because it's only fun if you're running good. It's not any fun if you're doing what he was doing.
The voice of experience.
It's not fun standing there next to you either, but I get through it.
You do it every week, and we appreciate you hanging in there.
But you know, that's the people that win championships. The people that can go out and make the most of a bad night.
Yep, exactly right.
And if he was running for a championship, he would have never pulled in.
Oh, that's right. He would never have stopped.
He's racing tonight to go out and have fun and win races.
And he was not having any fun. That's right.
Plus, he's also the leader in the Nextel Cup championship standings, and you don't want to run the risk of getting hurt. Also, if your car just isn't up to snuff.
I don't think a driver really thinks about that too much.
Hey, Matt, the 90 lost another spot.
BP and a gaggle of cars there. He did lose a spot. They are making headway, but he says they still need to make more room. There's a crash.
Hard crash. Okay. Aaron Crocker in the 6 and Jason Keller in the 35. Aaron Crocker making her Busch Series debut. Driving for Ray Evernham. They announced today she will go full-time in the Busch Series in 2006.
And you know, Jason Keller had a decent run going. I don't know how he got involved in this, but Kenny Wallace, the 22 car, was also involved in that crash.
Aaron was having some trouble on the restarts, BP. Yeah. We were watching, and it just seems like she wasn't real comfortable on the restarts, having a hard time getting going.
Kenny Wallace to the garage. Wallace 6th in the championship standings.
Already happened.
I see what happened to
Jason. Had nowhere to go.
Nope. Yeah. And Kenny Wallace tried to squeeze through on the outside.
Yeah.
And couldn't quite make it. And
on board with Kenny Wallace.
Oh my. All right, you're good. Oh, we're in it. We're in it, guys. We're in it. We're in it. They turned somebody right up in front of us.
There's Jason Keller headed to the ambulance. And the trip to the infield care center. Under caution for the 4th time here at Richmond, Kevin Harvick is the leader.
NASCAR Busch Series racing from Richmond International Raceway is brought to you by KFC. Every meal can be special when you bring back dinner and dessert. By Fram Filters. Remember, before you slam it, Fram it. And by the U.S. Navy. Navy, accelerate your life.
Working our 4th caution of the night after a multi-car incident on the backstretch. Kevin Harvick is the race leader. Mark Martin runs 2nd. Carl Edwards, Jason Leffler, and Elliott Sadler, your top 5.
has 2 career wins here at Richmond, but this season has not shown his familiar strength on his favorite tracks.
I don't go into it with any expectations, and certainly what we've done in the past doesn't mean anything right now.
Jeff Gordon ready to rock and roll tomorrow night, trying to get into the chase for the Nextel Cup, and you'll see it live right here on TNT at 7 o'clock. Dave Burns.
Kenny Wallace's auto zone has been too many cars and not enough room out there. What happened?
Yeah, you know, I hate it. You know, we got a great sponsor, AutoZone, but Erin Crocker, good lady race car driver, working her way up through the ranks, and somebody, I guess, spun her out. You know, I feel bad for her and Evernham, but, you know, I'm sure you can see in the replay, it was just a, you know, a short track accident. They just spun her, and there's nowhere to go.
All right, tough for Kenny. 3 of his 9 Busch Series wins have come right at this track. Marty?
Well, Dave, Jason Keller coming off such a strong run last week. What happened in that wreck?
I don't know. They got piled up in front of me. Just a victim of somebody else's miscue, it looked like. But man, those restarts are really tough. Had some cars that couldn't stay in the bottom lane there. But you know, McDonald's 4 was pretty good. Just couldn't get track position. We was holding on, but you know, it's just tough. That's a pretty hard hit. But luckily, all the safety things worked. And I can tell Devin and the kids I'm okay, and be on shortly.
Glad to see you're okay. Let's turn to the young lady who made her first start tonight. And Erin, what happened to start that?
I just lost it coming up. I don't know if something happened to the car or if it was just my inexperience. You know, it's hard for me to come here to a short track and start, and I'm very thankful to have the opportunity, but I've never raced on a short track in a stock car, and it's a little rough to learn with the boys in Busch, but we'll be back at Dover and have a new slate, and I'll be ready to go again. I feel bad. I apologize to those guys that took out, but it's racing.
How was the experience before that, though?
It was good. I was learning a lot. You know, sometimes I get caught up the leaders and get shuffled back a little bit, but once I got in line, it seemed to get in a rhythm. We had some good laps, and I felt like I was getting pretty comfortable and just trying to hold my line and finish a clean race, but that didn't work out so well.
First Busch Series start, pull in early.
It is a tough place to come. Tough place to come when you're a veteran.
Yeah. A little crowded out there, as you can see.
It's really crowded behind these guys. There's a pack right there. We saw Erin Crocker in the garage this afternoon.
Yeah. Very pleasant young lady. A pleasure to talk to. And her experience comes from open wheel cars. She World of Outlaws. And that's dirt. And that's nothing to compare to asphalt and all these cars side by side, nose to tail.
That's a mess.
That is a mess.
Yeah. Jamie McMurray in the 64, and
McMurray's a lap down, 32nd spot.
Kyle Busch, the 5 car, was a lap down, but he got the lucky dog and currently is up in the 15th position.
And Clint Boyer in the 2 is in the middle of all that, second in the championship standings, currently 182 behind Martin Truex, who's running in the 7th spot. Matt?
Bill, the problems continue for the 2 team. They had to pit twice under the last caution. Water temperature again climbing up to 250 to 255 degrees. He said the motor just starts to die when it gets that high. When it's down about 225 to 230, it is great. They pulled off more tape and fixed some cosmetic damage on the race car.
Now let's set the stage here. Under that last caution, 9 cars pitted, including Johnny Sauter, and they could make it to the finish on fuel.
I think Sauter, that you're right, Bill, but I think Sauter had damage on the right front on that wreck when the car in front of him checked up. He just ran into him, so he was forced to pit, but it may work to his favor, right, Matt?
Wally, you're exactly right. He pitted twice. They serviced the car on the first stop, but on the second stop, they worked on that right front corner, put a lot of tape up there to conceal that damage. But like you say, he's going to... Oh, what's up, BP?
Trouble. Regan Smith, Jamie McMurray. A hard hit.
Man, that was tough. Was that Sauter or the 2 car that got in the back of the 64?
It's Regan Smith in the 58.
See, there's the 2 car that gets in the back of it. Just touches the rear of the 64 car, and he takes, oh, Regan Smith, just a victim of circumstances.
Wow. Stacey Compton sliding through there in the 59.
He did a nice job, didn't he,
Yes,
get through that?
Here you go.
Running out of room. I mean, watch the 64 car go down. He's just driving down in there, and it just doesn't take much to get these things turned around when you're driving down in the corners here. You're almost spinning out as it is.
On board with Compton.
Stay low, stay low. Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down.
He was trying to get down.
Good job. There's Jamie. 10th in the Nextel Cup Championship standings. Big night tomorrow night. Said he wanted to go out there and try and learn some stuff, didn't he?
Yeah.
VP?
And he's okay. I mean, the car is damaged pretty badly, but he's okay.
It's just... It's loud. And he's on his way to the care center. So we work caution number 5, 146 laps complete. And after getting off to a smooth start, we had 4 caution flags in less than 50 laps.
And if someone is trying to make it the rest of the way without stopping again, this is certainly working into their advantage.
Some of those guys that came in earlier, yes, indeed.
So pit road is going to remain closed while the cleanup continues on the track. Jamie McMurray, Regan Smith, hard into the wall at Richmond, bringing out the caution. Kevin Harvick leads Mark Martin on TNT. Back here at Richmond under caution, and the leaders have been on and off of pit road. They get the 1 to go this time. And this is going to be very interesting.
It really is, because Kevin Harvick is going to restart this. The previous leader is going to restart about 12th or so.
Mark Martin won the race off of pit road.
So the first car off pit road is going to start 10th. Okay.
This Sunday, TNT presents the NBA Players Hurricane Relief Game as the NBA's biggest stars come out to support the victims of Hurricane Katrina. Don't miss Kobe, LeBron, and the game's greatest players as they do their part to join in the healing and give you an opportunity to give as well. That's Sunday at 11 o'clock on TNT. They waved off the 1 to go, put the yellow back out, and now they'll give them 1 to go again. Well, we got guys trying to get into the Nextel chase for the championship tomorrow night. Jeremy Mayfield did it 1 year ago, coming from 55 points back. And Jeff Gordon, one of the guys trying to make up points tomorrow night like Mayfield did a year ago. Paul Menard, Bobby Labonte, J.J. Yaley, Kyle Busch, Robert Presley, Michael Waltrip, David Green did not pit.
And my best guess is they will not pit again the rest of the night. If
what? Who won't?
These guys in front, I think they've seen the pit road for the last time.
I don't think that's going to work as fast as Harvick is.
Well, I think that Mark and Harvick and these guys have got to be able to get by them.
Jamie McMurray treated and released from the infield care center. Kyle Busch right up to the wall. It's Kyle in the 5.
See somebody with the front fender smoking badly.
There's Harvick in that mix right there in the 21.
Hey, Stacy Compton, I think all the smoke's coming from.
Correct. On board with Harvick as he tries his best to get through this traffic.
Elliott Sadler in the 90. Got a tire rub on Compton?
Yes, left front tire is rubbing the fender.
Hey, Matt, how's Harvick doing?
He's trying to thread the needle following Elliott Sadler. You can see the smoker. We've got a crash again.
Yes, we do. 43 car of Aaron Fike around. And Ashton Lewis.
But he slowed down. I guess someone ran in the back of the 25 of Ashton Lewis and spun him around. Luckily, it started.
Looks like Ashton's got some damage on the front, though.
It does.
A lot of damage.
A lot of damage.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Ashton Lewis is battling Jason Keller for that 10th spot in the championship standings. There's the race leader, Paul Menard. At the top of your screen, right there.
Never seen Aaron Fike in 43.
Not sure who he was racing, but he was just trying to keep off the left rear quarter panel.
See, the 25 car goes down, hits the inside wall.
And right there, get to the top. There you go.
Gotta drive heads up. It's big tonight, be big tomorrow night. You gotta stay out of the other guy's mess. Back under green at Richmond, working lap 161. Paul Menard is the race leader, followed by Bobby Labonte and J.J. Yaley. Martin Truex Jr. in that 8 car is the championship leader, and Wally, he has an issue.
He's got his hood pins are almost, they look like they're pulled out. Could be because he ran underneath somebody.
And 2 of them are broken. I can't see the thing lasting. Can you?
No, that thing will fly up, and it's because he ran under somebody.
That somebody would be Matt Kenseth.
Yes, it did. It took the
look at Edwards.
pins off.
Just sheared him off.
You know what? That hood comes up at 100 and whatever he's doing. That's going to be a real shocker.
Alan?
Well, you kind of just showed what I was going to report. Just before they went back to green, Martin radioed in and told the group he ran into the 17 in the jam up on the last caution. Kevin Mannion, the crew chief, Dave Charpentier, the team engineer, on top of the pit box every time Truex dives into one, carefully eyeing that car. But they haven't said anything about bringing him in here. They'll leave him out there until they absolutely have to do something about it.
Well, he's got, what, 2 pins on there right now.
Yeah,
there's 4 pins, so there's 2 pins holding it down right now, the outer pins, so it may be okay.
And Boyer has moved to within 116 points of Truex in the championship standings. Dave? Marty, I'm sorry.
That's all right, Bill. Jamie McMurray knows all about the action here at Richmond. First of all, are you okay? And what started all that?
I don't know. Our car just wasn't very good tonight. It was really good in practice, and then we just couldn't get going in the race. It's really tight, and I don't know if the 2 car got anxious or, if I just slowed down too much. I was trying to get by somebody on the inside, and I tell you what, it's cool. The racetrack is wide enough that there's 2 grooves now, but it's really hard to pass on the bottom. You really need to try to make your pass on the top, and I just couldn't get by the guy, and I got run into, and then I hit the wall. So it's tore up really bad. So I don't know that we're gonna get back out.
Is that a big lesson for tomorrow and where to pass and being too wide on track?
Well, the racetrack is 2 grooves, and I think that the top is definitely where we're going to do your passing. But, I saw guys that cars handled well, that they could pass on the bottom. It's just, I'm hoping right now that I got all my bad luck out of the way, and that tomorrow night will go better.
All right, sleep well tonight.
Thank you.
All right.
Black flag, car 8.
Wow.
The championship leader.
You got to fix the hood pins, Bono.
They have to fix the hood pins.
And the only way they can do that is
get black flag.
Is tape the hood down.
You have to have all 4.
Okay, well, they're going to have to take that duct tape and...
It's been fine for 10 laps.
Now he's saying it hasn't come up yet, so why are we getting black flags?
No, I can't say anything.
He's pleading his case. Knows NASCAR's listening.
He also knows if he comes in, it's going to kill him in the points tonight.
Because he's going to lose about 20 spots.
Maybe more.
If that hood does fly up, though, it'll blow the windshield out.
Yep. Black flag. being shown to Martin Truex Jr.
Now the hood in the back, they have tethers that keeps it on the car, but if it blows up at 140 miles per hour, I don't know if the tethers would do any good or not. Now,
he's not slowing down yet.
They'll stop scoring them after a certain period of time.
Right. He gets the black flag again as he passes under the.
They just flapping a little. It's just like debris. We got to have the pit. Get cleared. 4,000 second gear.
Needs to come this time, Alan.
Yeah, Kevin Manion was having a very long discussion with some of the NASCAR Busch Series officials on the ladder to his pit box, trying to plead his case. He says we have 3 hood pins in the car. That's plenty enough. Anytime you argue with an umpire, you're going to lose, and Kevin lost that argument.
And now he has been given the black flag with the white cross, meaning his car is no longer being scored.
I got oil on the track.
yeah, and you know, there is oil on the racetrack. Denny Hamlin in the 20 car is smoking on the racetrack, so that's one reason he stayed out, because of the smoke out of the 20.
Up he heads down pit road. 40 miles an hour heading to you, Alan.
Yeah, and all the while, Kevin Manion's on his team radio and hollering at the NASCAR officials in his pit, I smell oil, I see oil, I need a caution flag. Now here he comes. They're putting, as Denny Hamlin gets black flag, they're trying to put a spare hood pin in, the second clip in from the left side of the car, and put some tape over it to try and hold it down. There he goes.
Paul Menard continues to lead, followed by Bobby Labonte and J.J. Yaley. The big question is, as far as the championship is concerned, where does Truex rejoin the race?
And there we see Denny Hamlin in the 20 car.
He has been black flagged.
It's this top. Don't look at it.
Dave Burns?
Yeah, they do believe they've lost at least 1 cylinder on that 20 car, which is too bad. They made a track bar adjustment, changed 4 tires on their last pit stop, and he'd run in the top 10 all night long.
Martin Truex Jr. drops to 29th in the running order, 2 laps down, and his lead over Bowyer in the championship standings to 72 points. So we'll keep an eye on the championship race and this race. Paul Menard, 177 laps complete. He's out front. A racetrack on the NASCAR Nextel Cup circuit soon. Head out to the Ballpark Franks tailgating zone. Plenty to eat, lots of stuff to do. Run a few laps in the simulator, maybe change a tire. It's all at the Ballpark Franks tailgating zone. Coming to a racetrack near you. Paul Menard is the race leader. We check with Dave.
With Denny Hamlin now. Denny, you had family and friends cheering for you in the top 10. What happened?
It looked like the motor broke. Can't say nothing bad about the motor department, Joe Gibbs, Mark Conquest, and everybody. Hadn't had 1 single engine failure all year, so we'll take this one. We had a great car, top 10 car all day. It's a shame it happened in my hometown, but look forward to next week.
All right, Denny Hamlin's been close a couple times this year. Again tonight, a good car, did not finish.
Thanks, Dave. So Menard leads Bobby Labonte, Kevin Harvick, and Mark Martin are on the move. So Menard stopped at lap 127. And a number of the front runners pitted. He stayed out. That's how we got the lead. He's hanging on to it.
Not in bad shape if it goes green the rest of the way.
But if there's a caution.
But it won't go green the whole way, I believe.
Because there is caution on the track.
See, Greg Biffle, 66, has spun. Also, Robert Preston, 46. And I just noticed Preston was in the top 10. Won't be in the top 10 anymore. A lot of damage to that ride.
You're not kidding.
Both right side tires are flat. I guess that usually happens when you crash.
It looks like he got turned way back there by Biffle. Like when they were still on the straightaway practically.
Tell you what, you hit hard here, don't you?
you know what? You hit hard everywhere nowadays.
Yeah, you do. 4-car of Kevin Hamlin is the lucky dog. Pit road is open. Let's see what happens, BP.
Probably no takers, especially up front. No takers.
So some of the guys deeper in the field are going to come in, get some tires, try and charge to the front. Right now, everybody chasing Paul Menard at Richmond. Live at Richmond International Raceway in Virginia for the Emerson Radio 250 for the NASCAR Busch Series. Field getting the one to go. Paul Menard is the race leader. And for staying out when others pitted and getting the race lead and staying up there, he gets tonight's Just for Men hair color rejuvenating moment of the race.
But this caution flag also rejuvenated Kevin Harvick, because now he's in 3rd spot, just 2 car lengths behind Paul Menard.
And that 9 car is driven by Mark Martin, and he's right behind the 21.
That 9, the red and white 9.
So
new sponsor on Mark's car now, Red Apple Group. I'm not sure who those people are, but it's nice to see them anyway.
The 32 car of Jason Leffler and the 18 of J.J. Yaley were among the handful of cars deeper in the field that pitted. So they'll have fresher tires, but less than 60 to get to the front.
They weren't really that deep, were they?
They were like, Leffler was 8.
19 car, Bobby Labonte, but he's got some company. Harvick, the 21, on his back bumper. Harvick just turns it left and drives under Bobby Labonte.
Well, don't forget, he's got a lot fresher tires on that car than the 2 cars in front of him, or one behind him and one in front of him right now.
A 31 of Dave Blaney is a lap car. Dave Burns?
Yeah, Bobby Labonte is okay on fuel, guys. He pitted a ways back and had a pretty good car. They talked about pitting for tires, but didn't want to give up all the track position. Matt?
Harvick got just what he needed, Dave. He was about 4 seconds back of the leader. The caution tightened it up. Now he's working all over the 11. Menard thought he'd have the clean air would help him, but Harvick is all over him, Bill.
Got the tires. I think that's probably the biggest thing. About 30 lap, 40 lap, fresher tires.
Yep.
And Harvick, he can just worry Menard. He's got 50 laps to get this pass done, and I think he can easily do it in 50 laps.
I guess it's only 6 lap tire difference. Matt, how fresh are the tires on the 21 compared to like the 11?
The best calculations that I have, about 6 laps, Wall.
Okay, well, that's not much. I thought it was more than that.
And we can see Harvick is a little bit faster than Menard, but Menard is running in the spot that Harvick needs to run, so he just can't drive by him with ease.
Harvick pitted on lap 145 and Menard on 151.
Right, BP, he's going to worry him.
Yeah, just worry him and worry him and worry him and worry him.
No.
Kevin Harvick, the 21 car, has won a lot of these NASCAR Busch Series races. Menard has never won one.
But he's thinking about it.
Yes, he is. And very impressive. Matt, I'm impressed.
BP, I am too. As you can see, the 21 try him again. Now Dan Stillman keeps telling Paul, hit your marks, hit your marks.
Oh, wow. 8 car on his side.
Martin Truex Jr.
Wow.
Talk to me when you get here. We're coming down pit road, guys.
No, you're not. You won't steer.
I think he's had
All right,
enough.
go to the garage here, guys. Go over there by a thing. We're going to fix it.
Joey Chitwood's stunt show on that one.
Wow. Still trying to get it there, but it's not going to turn.
Comes up on the back of Mike Wallace in 38.
Squeezed up into the wall.
And Mike obviously had no idea he was on the outside of it.
That's a wild ride.
Boy, that is unbelievable.
Yeah, he just got squeezed in there, and I mean, did it turn that car inside? Through the fence, or up along the fence. I don't know how did that thing get run all over?
Here's the ride for you.
He just wanted to get through, you know, earlier before the race. He just wanted to get through this night.
Yep.
He was worried about it. I think he's not real happy with the driver of a 38 car.
Short tracks, all about talent and temper. This will get him a visit to talk with some of the NASCAR Busch officials after the race.
Well, we're sure going to be probably feel pretty good to throw that helmet.
No.
Well, I didn't throw the helmet, but
guys coming to calm down their driver.
Kevin Mannion.
They're trying to tell Martin right now he needs to go for a ride in the ambulance, and Martin's going, no, I don't need to go for a ride. I'm okay. I said, the heck with it, I'll go.
That'll be nice and air conditioned in there. That'll help him calm down a little bit. Then he'll be looking for a conversation partner after the race. Championship leader pinched into the wall. A wild ride. It'll be an interesting interview when we come back. TNT Sports is live at the Richmond International Raceway in Virginia for the NASCAR Busch Series. Emerson Radio 250. Under caution, Paul Menard is the race leader. That's the car of championship leader Martin Truex Jr. The crew back in the garage area trying to get that car in a condition that it can go back out on the racetrack and maintain the minimum speed. They're working on that because of this.
Just like 8 cars up on the high side, and Mike Wallace underneath them, and they ran out of room coming off of turn 2, and obviously Martin Truex got the bad end of that deal.
Right now, Truex the championship leader by just 72 points. We're still under caution here at Richmond. That's Martin Truex Jr. putting his helmet back on. After his visit to the care center, he's returned to the garage where his crew continues to work on the car. And they have really been working hard. Trying to cut away the sheet metal damage. Needed a new battery, obviously tires. They sent a crew member down to the care center to make sure Martin knew that they were getting ready to go back out. Then they got him a golf cart ride. So Truex getting dressed on the golf cart, heading back to the Busch garage.
Well, he's got a long night ahead of him. Well, he doesn't have that long. He's got just 37 laps left in the race. But still, to get in a race car like that that's been wrecked, there's not a whole lot you can do or gain.
And for working this hard to get the championship leader back out on the track, we're going to give the 8 bunch our ExxonMobil Command Performance of the race. Kevin Manion, crew chief, and his guys trying to protect points in the championship leader. NASCAR has told Truex if he wants to go back out and race and run for points, that's fine. But there will be no retaliation. Green flag, Paul Menard, the race leader. Any retaliation would mean the 8 car would be sent to the garage for the night. And just to clear up the tire situation, the 11 of Menard stopped on lap 127, the 21 of Harvick on lap 149. So about 20 fresher, 20 lap fresher tires.
Better tires, so that may make the difference. It's making the difference right now anyway.
Oh, Harvick tried his best to carry the Menard up the hill, but Menard said, I don't want to go up there because that's going to be losing the lead if I go up there.
Oh, man, he is sliding up there. Harvick is just sliding up that racetrack, but he's still giving enough room for Menard to race.
I'm impressed. Harvick is giving him enough. Oh, but he finally is going to get it off this corner, isn't he? Yes.
Kevin Harvick back to the lead. Dave Burns.
Yeah, I just want to add from the 38 pit, I checked with their crew following that incident for Mike Wallace, and the spotter for Mike was very apologetic. Mike never got the clear from his spotter or that he's on the outside. The spotter apologizing to Mike, never informed him that the 8 was coming around on the outside.
And Benny, that's what it looked like. Yeah, it looked like Mike was just coming up the racetrack and had no idea that Martin was there. But Martin, of course, sees that a different way.
Of course he does.
So Truex returns to the track.
Nice and easy here. Got a couple coming here outside right there.
Currently scored.
We need to finish this race. One outside.
30th. He's 2 laps behind the 29th place car of Ashton Lewis Jr.
But he's got time. We got caution.
2 cars spinning in turn 2.
J.J. Yaley and Carl Edwards. Man, this has been a rough night for the leaders in the NASCAR Busch Series points.
Edwards 3rd in the Busch Series standings. So of guys in the top 10, Truex, Edwards, Hamlin, Wallace, Stremme, and Keller have all had trouble tonight.
On board with Kyle Busch.
Looks like Yaley just broke loose down on the bottom.
Clear.
Already underway there.
And got into Carl.
Well, guess what? We're under caution at Richmond. Still under caution here at Richmond. 222 laps are complete. And here's what we've seen so far. Mark Martin took him to the green flag.
Here's where David Stremme cuts the right front hard into the wall. Lots of damage.
And then Ashton Lewis and Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart in the 83. Around he goes.
Then he decided he was done for the night. He'd had enough fun, he said. Lap 126. Aaron Crocker and Jason Keller. Kenny Wallace got a piece of that too.
On 144, Jamie McMurray in 64. Regan Smith, 58. In the wall hard. Both those cars out for the night.
Clint Boyer involved in that. There's Martin Truex Jr. running into the back of the 17. That knocked out a couple of hood pins. He got black flag, had to go to pit road, get the hood taped down. Then he got into trouble with Mike Wallace and went for this ride.
And a ride it was. How this car didn't turn over, I have no idea. Came back on all 4. They worked on it. Yeah, he was a little bit mad at Mike, but Mike's spotter claims that didn't clear Mike, so Mike never knew he was there.
And this is just a minute or 2 ago on the racetrack. Martin Truex Jr. saying hello to Mike Wallace.
I think Truex may have been just telling him that he got the message from the spotter there, and he's okay with Mike.
Dave Burns.
And we're with Carl Edwards right now. Guys, bring that monitor in here, too. Carl wanted to take a look at the replay if we can. Don't know if you can run it at the same time here as we get back to go to green. So, Carl, here's what it looks like. I know it was a surprise to you.
Yeah, it was a
That's a big surprise. We were doing our best to make the most of Martin Truex's bad luck, and it looks like the JJ just got a little loose. It's so easy to do here. I mean, JJ's a great guy. I know he didn't mean to do it, so looks like we're getting back ready.
Carl's out for the night. Great run for these guys tonight. Come to an abrupt end.
Back to green. 25 to go. Harvick out front. We do want to point out that NASCAR officials did check the catch fence where the 8 car slid along the wall, and it's fine. Did its job.
Matt Kenseth's right behind Mark Martin right now. Looks like Menard really slid off of 2 that last lap, and looks like he's okay now. What's he saying, Matt?
Former Busch Series driver and USAC champion Stevie Reeves spotting for Paul Menard, telling him you just overshot your line. Get back into your rhythm. Hold on. Let's try to have a big night points-wise, because Kenny Wallace and Stremme had bad nights. They're hoping for a big night. Marty.
Don't count out Matt Kenseth. He came on the radio a few moments ago and said, guys, the car's the best it's been by far all night long. A little loose getting in and a little tight off the corner, but he said certainly manageable for these last few laps.
The only problem the biggest problem Kenseth has is those 2 cars in front of him. Martin, I think both Martin and Kenseth are faster than Menard, but can they get by him? We saw how much trouble Harvick had getting by him.
Matt trying to encourage Mark to make the move.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to, well, I mean, Menard's running his line, not leaving a whole lot of room on the outside to make an outside pass. But I don't think Mark's car is good enough to make an inside pass right now.
Paul Menard is 25, didn't have a Busch Series top 5 until 5th at Kentucky. And he finished 3rd the next week at Milwaukee. Kept the string of strong finishes going since then, gaining 10 spots to 8th in the championship standings in the last 12 races. Fighting for that spot right now.
Mark's got to be careful because he's got Matt Kenseth right there.
Mike Wallace to pit road.
Right front tire is flat. It's amazing with all that sheet metal around there that he didn't lose there long before this.
We talked about Mark Martin being a very patient driver, but with 19 to go, you get your chance. Mark's going to make his move.
Going to have to, because Harvick is just stretching out that lead every single lap.
1.4 seconds right now.
Oh, here comes Kenseth on the outside, and Martin says, I can't get by the guy. You go ahead, you try. Because he realized if he held Matt up much longer, and then he was able to get by, there's no way he could get by Menard and go and try to win the race.
But Menard able to get a little breathing room there.
I have a feeling it'll be short-lived, Bill. PP said I think those 2 cars are faster than Menard, but they've got to find a way around them.
Jason left at 32. Remember, he stopped and changed tires. He has 4 fresh tires, probably 30, 40 laps fresher than Labonte. This is a battle for 5th.
Marty?
Yeah, you're right, BP, and they have been fast ever since then. They put it back on lap 190. He restarted 12th and stormed his way up, trying to pass Bobby Labonte. Jason said the car, very good, a little bit tight, but I think I can get past these guys with his latest radio transmission.
All right, meanwhile, here comes Kenseth. He's up on the back bumper of Paul Menard.
Think he'll use that bumper?
No. And Mark realized he was not going to use the rear bumper, so.
Lap traffic. All this helping Kevin Harvick, now 1.8 seconds ahead of 2nd place.
Jason Leffler did get by Bobby Labonte, who's in the 5th.
Boy, Menard better not leave anything open.
Kenseth looking inside, trying to get there. Trying to hold the car down. Not
enough. Good job. Good job.
This is big for Paul Menard. Pulling off these guys.
That's right. He's racing with the best stock car drivers in the world.
And it could be a big night in the point standings for him as well. Caution is out.
All Wolf.
Yeah.
Trying to get it refired. This is on board with Kenny Wallace.
Stay down, stay down. Good eye, good eye, good eye. Outside.
Kevin Harvick leads under caution at Richmond.
NASCAR Busch Series racing from Richmond International Raceway is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Busch, the proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series. By Ballpark Franks. Be big, be meaty, be frank. And by Old Spice, the official deodorant of NASCAR. Be a fan.
Still under caution, 8 to go here at Richmond. Let's check in with Marty Snyder.
Obviously, Matt Kenseth has a fast car. Chad Norris, do you have enough time to pass the two in front of you?
We definitely do. I think we got something for Paul. I don't know about Harvick right now. He looks pretty strong right now, but we're definitely going to work over that 11 car pretty hard.
Matt said the car may be just a little bit too loose to pick both of them off, Matt.
Ricky, did the caution come at the perfect time for you? The 11 still is the blocker?
Well, if the caution was going to come out before the end, that's when it needed to come out, before the 17 got by. I think he's got a good chance right here. I know the 11 is going to hold up to 17, so 6 laps to go. It's going to be exciting.
Bill, read that. It's going to be one exciting finish.
You think, huh? We'll see what happens. The question is, can they get to the finish without another caution?
Yeah, that is the question.
Harvick won the Busch Series race at Bristol earlier this year and at Chicagoland. Looking for his 3rd win.
Okay, we'll soon find out.
6 to go when they get it. Here we go. Single file restart. Looking inside of Paul Menard.
Jason Leffler looking under Mark Martin right there for a spot.
Another good run for Leffler.
And Kevin Harvick continues to pull away from Paul Menard. But Menard is keeping that 17 car behind him.
Four to go. Crew chief and driver car 8 to the truck to meet with NASCAR after the race.
Here he's looking. He's dove it in there.
Trying to hold it down.
Tell you what, Menard's doing a good job.
Can't beat you off the bottom.
Leffler can't get by Mark either.
No, even though his tires are about 30, 40 laps fresher. He's not going to give up trying.
Really need that space right here to drift up the racetrack to have that momentum of speed. And we got a yellow out.
Debris. The caution is for debris. We will have a green-white checkered finish. Debris on the front stretch.
Ricky Vire said, oh man.
He's able to smile. Crew chief for Kevin Harvick. We'll have a green-white checkered finish. Can Harvick hold him off? Can Kenseth get past Paul Menard? We'll find out. Pace car to pit road. Green flag about to come out. 2 laps to determine it at Richmond.
All Harvick's got to do is finish these laps. Nobody's going to touch him. Boy, Menard's got a lot of pressure from behind right now.
I'll tell you what, that 21 car, Kevin Harvick, has been terrific tonight.
White flag, last lap. Outstanding run for Harvick.
Slipped off the corner just a little bit, Bill.
Kenseth going to try it one more time. I don't know. Kevin Harvick wins. Menard gets second. Outstanding run for Harvick. Strong performance for Paul Menard.
Yeah, buddy. Great job. Great job in the pits. Great job for all of you guys.
Was Richard Childress, owner of this 21 car.
So Kevin Harvick trying to race his way into the chase tomorrow night has a strong run, a confidence builder tonight here at Richmond.
And sitting on the pole today for the Cup race. So
exactly right.
Not a pretty good roll.
And this is appropriate. The winner of tonight's NASCAR Busch Series race is presented the Reese's Big Cup. Here comes the Reese's car down the front stretch. AB?
Well, this is Ricky Byers looking back to see what kind of burnouts his driver's doing. Ricky, you can breathe now. Congratulations.
He made the burnout special, didn't he? Kevin Harvick is a great driver. Love having Reese's on our car. Love everybody at RCR. We had a great car. Fab Shop did a great job building this new car for us. Motor Shop did a great job. I couldn't talk good enough about these guys. I'm just so excited. They worked so hard all year, and I know they're going to have a great time tonight.
I can't hear just a little excitement in his voice, huh, Bill?
Absolutely, Alan. So Harvick heads for victory lane. There's Martin Truex Jr. getting out of his car. Had that wild ride earlier in the race.
Talking to Jimmy Elliott, the crew chief on Reed Sorensen's 41 car.
Sure, a lot of officials down there.
Sure are. It's pretty calm, cool, and collected.
It takes a while, but you get your thoughts back. Calm down a little bit.
Hello, Marty.
Hello, Weber, and Martin Truex Jr. surveying the heavily damaged car. That was a frustrating start to a wild ride, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous, really. I mean, we had a good top 5 car. We had a good night going, and we get black flag for getting into a little bit of an accident and knocking a hood pin out. We really got screwed pretty bad tonight.
What about the contact with the 38?
I don't know. Maybe he's blind. I was outside him. He just run up like I wasn't ever there. He hit me so hard, he put me on the fence, and about flipped me over. So it was cool to get back in it. Guys done a great job putting it back together real quick, and it's just ridiculous, man. We don't need this stuff to happen. We had a good run going, and we were going to have a good night. We had a good car and a shot at the win, and just real disappointing.
When you're on your side, what was that ride like?
I just kept it to the wood and waited for it to turn back over, hopefully, so I keep going. And I don't know, just a bad night.
All you can do is laugh about it now, but it was a heavy hit in the championship too, Martin. All right, obviously very frustrating night for Martin Truex Jr. as he heads back to the team hauler. Alan?
And this is Paul Menard, who just got another career best finish in the NASCAR Busch Series. When Kevin Harvick got behind you on the fresher tires, did you think you had a chance to hold him off?
As long as I protected the outside, I thought, we'd have had at least a fighting shot at it. And he was strong tonight. He deserved the win. And, Dan Stillman made a great call in the pits. We pitted a little bit earlier than everybody else, got a lot of track position. And luckily, cautions fell when we needed them. So just real happy for everybody at DEI and the Menard Splash Chevy. And hopefully get a little momentum built up here, carried it over.
There you go. A great job tonight by Paul Menard. To victory lane.
And Kevin Harvick climbs out. A winner for the 8th time this year, a top 2 finish in NASCAR Busch Series competition. What a dominant car, Kevin.
Yeah, I tell you what, this Reese's Chevrolet was flat out awesome. Brand new car we brought here, and we had a little bit of trouble with it right at the beginning of practice, but man, once we got it dialed in, it was awesome. Got to thank the AC Delco guys, Gil Martin and Clinton Boyer. This is the same way they brought their car back, and Ricky and I just adjusted on it. But Ricky Byers and all the guys did a good job in the pits tonight, and a lot of fun to have stuff like that 2 nights in a row.
A lot of guys racing your mirror. Restart 6 to go. Restart green, white, checker.
Yeah, there was a lot of cautions there at the end, but you know, the debris was all the way down there on the apron, but
and we also got the ice chest from the ACW guys.
They're very enthusiastic, so it's definitely awesome to win, and second time here, so we're pretty proud of it.
What a way to start out the weekend. Nextel Cup pole, Busch Series win, Alan.
And I'm with Mike Wallace, who's just climbed from his battered race car. Mike, your view of what happened out on the racetrack earlier?
Well, the view was I didn't know Martin was on the outside of me, and I guess I got him in the wall. You know, it's my fault. I'll take the blame for it. But I was racing a 44 and a 31, trying to get the lucky dog or be back on the lead lap, and I was running the top of the racetrack, and he just got up there higher, and I didn't realize he was out there. And I know he's upset. I'm sorry about it, but the Great Clips Dodge was worse than his night was, and he had a lot of nice gestures for me, and his dad did, and everybody else. But hey, I'm sorry. You know, I'm sure they make mistakes now and then, and we'll go on. He's a championship guy. He should recover from it.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, Mike Wallace taking responsibility. 16th Busch Series victory for Kevin Harvick in his career. Ties him with Joe Nemechek and Jeff Green for 12 all-time. Harvick in victory lane. Results and points next.
This is what it's all about. This is do or die for a lot of race teams to be a part of the chase. It feels like a playoff atmosphere. Every lap is going to be extremely critical. TNT hits it right on the head. It's what it's all about, is drama.
Right back here at Richmond tomorrow night for the Chevy Rock and Roll 400 for the Nextel Cup Series. Results from tonight's race: Kevin Harvick's third Busch win of the season. Outstanding effort from Paul Menard, Kenseth Martin, and Leffler. Top 5.
Elliott Sadler reads that group in the second 5. Reed Sorensen, Bobby Labonte, Michael Waltrip, and Greg Biffle.
Clint Boyer. Good points night for him, you could say.
Sir.
Johnny Sauter got up to 12. Tony Raines, Kyle Busch, Randy LaJoy, Stacey Compton, John Wood, David Green, J.J. Yaley. After having a little bit of trouble, finished 19th.
All these cars on the lead lap. See, top 23 cars on the lead lap. Then T.J. Bell will finish 24th, 2 laps down.
There's Truex back in the 27th spot. Carl Edwards in 28th. Ashton Lewis Jr. came in 11th in the standings, 30th. And look at the list of guys that did not finish.
It's long.
Guys and one lady, Aaron Crocker, 39th. That's the finish order. Take a look at the championship standings in the last 3 races. Truex's point lead has fallen from 204 after Michigan to 94, a loss of 110 points in 3 races. It's a 2-car race for the Busch Series championship. Kevin Harvick wins tonight, on the pole tomorrow night for the Chevy Rock and Roll 400, with an outside shot of getting inside the chase for the Nextel Cup. We'll see what happens. Tomorrow night on TNT, it's the Chevy Rock and Roll 400, the final race in the Nextel Cup Race to the Chase. Who will be in the chase and who will be locked out? That's the Chevy Rock and Roll 400 tomorrow on TNT. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with the Bank of America Countdown to Green. Next on TNT, on the East Coast, it's Driven. And on the West Coast, it's Law and Order. Kevin Harvick wins tonight. Be with us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern, for some more fireworks from Richmond.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.